So first of all, I'd just like to ask you, what is your opinion of the WHO's handling of the coronavirus pandemic?
Well, I think the WHO has been extremely dishonest to the world about this coronavirus pandemic because it's acting as nothing more than a sock puppet of the Chinese Communist Party. It is not independently verifying information. It's taking everything the Chinese Communist Party says at word, on the spot. And because of that, it has, misled the world. It told people there was no human-to-human transmission. It warned people about spreading rumors this would be a global pandemic shortly before it actually announced a global pandemic. Every step of the way, it has suppressed information, repeated the lies of the Chinese Communist Party, and left the world unprepared when it did spread.
What do you think about the WHO ignoring Taiwan's warning?
Well, it's clear that when the WHO ignored Taiwan's warning, they were playing politics. Because if you read the letter from Taiwan, they're not only telling the WHO that they have evidence of, this virus, this unknown pneumonia spreading in China at that time, and that people have to be quarantined, they have to be kept separate. Now, Taiwan is suggesting that by saying that people had to be kept, isolated, that itself was evidence of human-to-human transmission. WHO said, well, you didn't technically say human-to-human transmission. Right? Of course, at the time the Chinese Communist Party was saying otherwise and they were repeating it. And it's obvious that the WHO is just playing politics. They don't want to let Taiwan into the WHO. They don't want to share information with them because doing so would validate Taiwan as a country. And if they're playing in the hands of the Chinese Communist Party, they can't do that.
I don't know if you have any opinion on the WHO Tedros, the leader, criticizing Taiwan, saying that they were attacking him because of his race.
Well, the racist narrative is what you go to when you have nothing else to say. When you run out of legitimate arguments, you turn to name calling. It's ridiculous because how is he accusing Taiwan, an Asian country, of racism? I thought that only worked when you're criticizing, white people in America or something, right? But, is he criticizing the Chinese Communist Party for discriminating right now against black Africans? These Africans out on the street, has he said anything about that? Is he criticizing the Chinese Communist Party for the way it's treating Muslim Uyghurs, reports of them using slave labor during this whole pandemic? Did you say anything about that? No. He's not saying anything about that. So is this really about racism? No. Absolutely not. This is about politics. And of course, they came back and said, we know what it is to be discriminated against. Because the WHO has been discriminating against us by keeping us out of the loop, by preventing us from getting information that could save the lives of our citizens, and by ignoring the warnings we gave you, which allowed this virus to spread around the world and left countries unprepared.
Yeah, that's true. Taiwan has been constantly discriminated against in WHO and the UN and all those organizations. So yeah, that's a very good point. What is your opinion on the US now halting funding of the WHO?
Of course, in normal circumstances, we are in a pandemic, and the WHO is an organization that is supposed to play a key role during times like this. This should be the WHO's time to shine. This should be the time when they show the world that they are a valid, needed organization that can serve a valuable purpose, and they have not done so. Instead, they've shown that they are a hand puppet of the Chinese Communist Party that does not independently verify information, that repeats misinformation, while claiming that they're suppressing misinformation. If you read their strategic report, they say they're running a 24-hour operation to spot what they call false information or misinformation in the infodemic, the information pandemic. This is what they're doing. So they're misleading the world. They're spreading false information. They're claiming that that's somehow valuable. And so far it hasn't been. They haven't shown any value in this. And if anything, they've played a terrible role in suppressing information and misleading people and in really probably making this worse than it had to be.
Do you have any opinion on or know anything about Taiwan's preventative measures for the coronavirus? Because they have been one of the countries that have the least cases, even though they are right next to China.
Well, Taiwan has one of the greatest tools on its side when it comes to fighting against this pandemic, which is they know the Chinese Communist Party lies. When the Chinese Communist Party locks down its cities, when the Chinese Communist Party shuts down its factories, when the Chinese Communist Party, while doing that, is telling everyone that has the situation under control and there's nothing to worry about, there's no human-to-human transmission, they know the Chinese Communist Party is lying. And they acted very early, took preventative measures, and prevented this from coming from the Chinese mainland into Taiwan. They knew that would be the step they had to take to deal with this, and they acted sooner than just about anybody, and they're in a better state than just about anybody.
So recently, a group of Taiwanese people fundraised, and they bought a full-page advertisement in the New York Times. What is your opinion on this advertisement?
I'd say good for Taiwan. I mean, I didn't see it coming, to be honest. The Chinese Communist Party is being discredited in every part of the world. The organizations that have suppressed information, like the WHO, are exposing themselves and showing the world what happens when you believe false information from the Chinese Communist Party. And Taiwan is coming out and showing itself to be a very, valuable player in the international community. They're shipping face masks. They're, engaged with the world. They're actually playing a positive role in helping inform people about this virus and giving a model for fighting against it, for, preventing this virus from spreading further. And so good for them. It's a great development, in my opinion. What we're seeing right now is, in my analysis, the fall of the Chinese Communist Party. I do not think the Chinese Communist Party is going to survive this, either in terms of its image or in terms of its system. It has demonstrated that its methods, its totalitarian system for trying to deal with this virus was not effective. You still have virus transmissions in China. They're sending people back to work without ever first ending it. They're demonstrating that their model has failed. And they're demonstrating that their shipments of goods comes with a price attached to it, that you have to come out and praise the Chinese Communist Party if you want medical goods. That is not how you deal with diplomacy. That is not how you create a positive image around the world. That's backfiring on them. It's blowing up in their faces. They're making fools of themselves. And meanwhile, countries like Taiwan are playing a very positive impact, using a very different system that did not require any of the totalitarian measures the Chinese Communist Party took, and we're seeing that is more effective.